morning. I want to talk about the drones again. I've been watching a lot of Benny Johnson. I like Benny Johnson. I've been sharing his videos on my YouTube channel from time to time recently. But I think there's something going on here. I don't agree with what he's saying about the drones. I understand why. And there's whistleblower guy that came out he literally works for the government. He makes drones. If you work for the government, I don't trust you, period. Because here's the thing. I'm not there. I'm not telling you to accept what I'm saying. I know this is stuff I'd be doing if I was living in New Jersey right now. My hometown, Seaside Park. People are seeing some pretty wild stuff. I've shared photos that I've taken before. Some here. What are you doing, man? Not smart there, Pops. Idiots. Idiots! So, what they're saying, like, this is the best thing that they think this is the best thing. So, because this guy's saying they're drones, they're ours, and they're scanning for radioactive material because they believe there was a warhead from the Cold War, and that's what they're looking for. All right, now let's say that that's the truth. Well, I'll tell you right now, folks, if you live in the tri-state area and you believe that, then why are you still there? I don't care if it's Christmas time. I got a family, wife and kids. They're telling me that they're looking for a nuclear device because they think a bomb is going to go off, a nuclear explosion. Terrorism. Hey, baby, pack up the kids. We're going up into the mountains in Pennsylvania or something. Get the hell out of there then. That's how I hear that. Because that's crazy. Now, footage I've seen, they even showed on Benny Johnson this morning, watching it live. It's a news crew. They're showing it. Not a fixed wing aircraft. It's round. It's an orb. You could see inside of it, and there's it looks like electricity, like shooting out in all directions, and the outside perimeter changes shape. It's not a drone. It's not a drone. And then they can morph. Like, I've seen them look like airplanes, but there's like a square. They don't get it quite right. It's not an aircraft I've ever seen. And it doesn't act like an airplane. And they can do these maneuvers. They mostly just stay in the one area and kind of slightly drift around a little bit. And they stay up all night. And again, no explanation on that. There's no drone that can stay up for 6 hours or more. Plane, anything. And some of our jets now can kind of stop and hover a bit. I'm not talking about the Harriers that can turn their wings around and, take off vertically. That's not what I'm talking about. Now, what I want is for those of you that are living there to get some better friggin' footage, and it shouldn't be that difficult. Telescopes are not that expensive. You don't need like some super high-end telescope, and you all have a phone. You might be watching me right now on your phone, and the capability of your phone with your camera is freaking amazing these days. And they have these contraptions that hook onto telescopes. You can hook your phone on so you can see a point that at that with a telescope with your phone and get us some better footage of this. I think there probably are real drones up there, and I think some of those are the US and everything else. But to me, this sounds like the government coming up with a plausible explanation for something that you'll accept because they can't explain it. That's what it sounds like to me. Again, I've said this on my other longer video on this subject. This has been happening forever. There's historical record, news reports, newspapers all the way back to the 14th century in Germany, all the way to modern in 1952. Look up the newspapers, UFOs over Washington. Look it up. Front page of the newspaper, photographs of it. Still have never explained. And at that time, the government came out on television and said, we don't know. I'm paraphrasing. They said, we don't know what it is, but it's nothing to worry about. That's what they're doing now. Except now, more people, more technology. Everybody's sharing images of it from their phones. So they have to come up with some crazy story that seems plausible of why these things are up there. That's what's going on. And if you believe that they're U.S. drones, yeah, you're less likely to be concerned, maybe slightly less likely to want to shoot at one. Don't shoot at one. It's not the right thing to do. It's kind of silly. You know, I'm not buying it. Now, I hope it's ours. I hope it's nothing serious and there's something else going on. But I'm not buying it. That's just me. And you can laugh at me and goof on me all you want. Again, I've shared my own photographs here. Look at the video I did on drones already. But Benny Johnson, I'm not trusting him on this. He seems like a genuine guy. But he's tied in with a lot of these people, you know. And I could see him wanting to support something if he believed that it's for the better good of the American people. I can understand that, but I'm not buying. And where is Elon Musk? That's the big one. You know, I don't believe what Benny Johnson's saying, and I want to know where Elon Musk is. I haven't seen any reports. Elon Musk is one of the smartest people within the country. All right, he's literally sending rockets up into space. He knows a lot about drones and anything that flies around in the sky. He's a friggin' genius. He has not weighed in on this, at least not that I have heard. That's a big stinking deal. That is friggin' huge. So he absolutely has an opinion, and he's either being told not to share what his opinion is, or he's afraid to share his opinion. He's probably an alien anyhow. Yeah, a guy with those kind of brains, you know. So, sorry, Benny. I think you should walk it back a couple steps and listen to what I'm saying, because you say some things that aren't true, that they're all this or that, and we know that they're exhibiting properties and maneuvers, and they're doing things that apparently we don't know how to do. I'm not unaware of it. And there's something else going on here is all I'm saying. And I am saying, if I was living in New Jersey right now, and if I was inclined to believe this latest theory that they're looking for a nuclear device, I would hightail my ass out of there. Mass exodus. That ain't happening. Government ain't calling for that. They're telling you, right? And this is what they want you to believe now. Hey, we're looking for a warhead that was been missing since the Cold War, stolen from the Middle East, which could be a real thing, by the way. You know, I mean, that could definitely happen. And terrorism is a real thing. And we've been letting, you know, tens of thousands of people into this country, millions, you know, by many accounts, but we'll say maybe 10,000 or more people that could very likely are terrorists, you know, or at least came here for bad intentions. Of course, nothing's happened yet. You know my theory on that one. They're all programmed to come here and do bad things, and then they get here and they're like, this place ain't so bad. All you have to do is work hard and make money. That's pretty easy. I can meet a girl and have a good time. I can go out, eat any kind of food I want, go shopping. Everything I want is right there. Wait, these people are actually nice? Like, you know, generally speaking, Americans are nice to people, especially people from other places, you know, because we all came from somewhere else. I mean, there are some Americans that are, you know, a little hoity-toity, let's say, you know, they've been here long enough, they don't remember where their people came from, and I actually think they're not good Americans in a way. A good American has to understand that your people came from somewhere else, and there's more people coming, and we are a melting pot, and that's what this place is. And yes, you get here and you get screwed with. That is the American way, man. That's the American way. And you get needled and screwed with until you pay your dues. You're here for a couple generations, and then you are accepted. That is every person from all over, every group of people that came here went through the same thing. All right, you're paying your friggin' dues. It'll get good. Benny Johnson. No, not buying it. I'm not buying this one. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. Fine. They've been here before. The evidence is clear. Do your research. Don't ask me to give you the links for it. Look it up. Your fingers work. The technology exists. UFOs over Washington, D.C. 1952. Look it up. UFO battle in the sky. Look up the Vedic texts from India that predate the Bible, by the way, by thousands of years, and they talk about Vimanas and battles in the sky. And there's depictions of it. It's highly stylized. It's artistic, right? The whole flying carpet thing, man. Again, with the Bible, with these stories, they're all UFO stories. It's a thing. It's a thing. And they show up all the time and they do this stuff and nothing happens, you know? They're trying to come out with these stories now to placate people who don't want to accept the idea that it could just be UFOs. That's all. Which is fine, but I'd rather have the truth, and I don't know. And I'm guessing. I'm not telling you just believe what I'm telling you. But I'm seeing them do things that don't make any sense, and nobody's explained that to me. Apparently, these things fly over certain areas, even cars, and the clocks change. And I've seen video footage of it. Now, I didn't make the footage, so I don't know how real it is, but it's out there. Look it up. Do your research. They're changing clocks. When we get our stuff up next to them, they disappear, they go dark. Other drones try to go up and get next to them. The batteries go dead. Sometimes they won't lift off at all. There's a lot of weird things happen, technologically speaking, that make no sense. All right, now, could we have a drone, the U.S. have a drone that can affect other drones when it gets close to it? Maybe. I wouldn't doubt that technology exists, right? But I'm unaware of us having anything that looks like a glowing orb with weird shit going on inside of it that changes shape and it can morph into things that look like airplanes. All right? And you can see that if you watch enough of these videos. And it's really interesting. I got a bunch of people send me the link. There's a live cam in Seaside Park looking out over the ocean. The resolution isn't very good. You can't really tell what the hell you're looking at there. But I was on it the other night, and there was over 5,000 people watching this camera, just looking out over the ocean. And I got up in the middle of the night at one point and looked. There was like 2,000 people at like 1 o'clock in the morning looking at it. So I don't want to frighten you. I don't think there's anything to really be afraid of. They're frightening you. I'll tell you what, aliens flying around up there, to me, is less scary. Less scary than it being our own government up there looking for a nuclear device that they're afraid is going to go off. That is far more frightening to me than UFOs. And I'm really not afraid either way. You know. And by the way, it ain't just New Jersey. This is the other thing. This is the thing. They're saying the Jersey drone. Hey, man, there's been a lot more stuff happening here in California. Almost every state, I think, has this going on. Do your research. Look it up. I saw footage that's recent from right here off the coast where it was lines. I think there's like 5 in a row of lines, and they go to a V shape, and they go into the water little by little. It looked like a video game, asteroid or something, right there over the ocean a few days ago. And that happens all the time. We got this trench here, very deep water between here and Catalina Island, that is a hot spot for UFOs. USOs, they call them. And there's stories. One came out of the water and clipped a plane. This was decades ago. They've hit boats. Weird stuff has happened. Look it up. Look it up. Don't believe me. Look it up. Stuff's always been happening. It's off your radar, man. I mean, our lives at this current time on the planet are what we think we know is all manipulation to keep us distracted, keep us divided, fighting one another, keeping us focused on sustaining a lifestyle that we don't really need, that ultimately just destroys us physically and mentally. I can go on and on. I've been talking about that for years on this channel. Go to random thoughts and stuff. I used to have playlists. I don't even do them anymore. I just talk and post the videos, but I've talked on all these subjects over the years, and I haven't been proven wrong on any of it yet. So I'm just saying, they're us. They're our relatives, man. They're a being inside whatever they are, you know. And Be prepared for anything. Look, you should have. I've been telling my friends, and I got to do it actually. Um, keep your gas tanks full. Have your little go bags. A little extra food, a little extra water, stuff like that, just in case. Just in case. It doesn't hurt. It's a good thing to have anyhow. Things happen. You can get stranded, especially on the East Coast or places where there's winter. You know, I'm in Southern California. But you can get stranded anywhere. You should have a wool blanket in the car, extra pair of socks, you know, basic stuff. But if you had to leave an area, you might not have time to be packing stuff up. So get yourself a plastic container, have a bunch of extra gear. If you got a family, make sure there's enough for everybody. Make sure there's little bags in there that you have for everybody in case you have to leave. And then, well, now there's got the Los Angeles Urban Survival page where I showed there's been fires, you know, on the highways here where people they got to abandon their cars, and all the cars burn up, right? Well, what if you got to walk for several miles and walk to get to some place? You got to have a little backpack on that you can have a little extra water, a little bit of food in there, some sunscreen, a hat, some gloves. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. It's peace of mind, too, that you get from it by being prepared. So, I'm just saying. Where's Elon Musk? What's his opinion on this? Again, if you're in New Jersey, do me a solid. Get a tripod out. Don't be doing it with your hand. Don't hold it by hand. You get the tripod, set the phone up on that. Boom. All right? Pretty good telephoto on your phone, but you're not going to get enough. You need something that's better optic. So go to the Kmart, wherever the hell people are shopping these days, Target. Amazon's going to take a little while. Go someplace where you can get it right now. If you already have one, get an adapter so your phone could hook up to it and show us what you're seeing right over your stinking house. I've seen some pretty wild stuff already, but more of you need to be doing this. All right? This is like the thing with me all the time. If you're just looking at something and complaining about it, you're not helping the situation. Do a little investigative work. It's the scientific method. The number one thing, scientific method, is observation. Get out a pad, observation. What are you seeing? Estimate how high up in the stratosphere it is. It's not even that high. It's just right here. It's just over your house. How high is it? How far away is it? Give me a gauge about how big it is to you. Write these things down. What kind of sounds are you hearing? What kind of colors? What's the shape doing? Look at it over time. Is it changing shape? Right? Put notes down. Homework, man. I know a lot of you didn't do a lot of homework when you were in school, and it shows. Figure it out. The people on the ground who are doing their own reporting with their own videos and everything, I'm getting more information from that than I'm getting from Benny Johnson or the news. Which is as it should be, really. Anyhow, that's it. I got to get to work. Have a good day. Be good to one another. Don't freak out. I think everything will be all right. Even if they are aliens, it could be really interesting. What if they're delicious? Medium rare alien. I hope they have a sense of humor, because if they don't, I'm the first to go.